Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. This is the follow-up on the report about the WWE's Wrestlemania Hall of Fame class of 2020. Wow. Next year's Wrestlemania is going to take place in the year 2020. That is a freaking trip right there. WrestleMania 36 is going to be taking place in Tampa. Um, and I saw a report that it seemed like the leader to be the Hall of Fame main event for next year's Hall of Fame class would be the nWo. This is something that we've talked about in the past before, and we've already got our first faction put into the WWE Hall of Fame last year, being the group of DX, led by Shawn Michaels, Triple H, also with China, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, and X Pac, all being inducted. That was your first um, main event class that was led by a faction. In the past, we had the Four Horsemen put in at WrestleMania 28. I think that they were just sort of put in as a group, and it was kind of a weird thing at the time because Ric Flair wasn't even in WWE, he was in TNA, and WWE had to reach out and did some sort of talent exchange with Christian being on a TNA. I think he was on a pay-per-view, if I remember right, and he basically just came out and he gave some sort of like a little speech, remembering the first 10 years of Impact, and you could really tell by looking that he really didn't really want to be there. This year, in order to put this year, in order to put DX into the WWE Hall of Fame, they had to get Billy Gunn's permission from AEW in order to induct him. And then while he was actually there, WWE took shots at AEW, with Triple H basically saying that Vince would buy that pissant company, and just for the fact that he could fire Billy one more time from the company. To me, I don't really understand why they are in some sort of a rush in order to put the nWo into the Hall of Fame. I think that, with Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, as well as Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, already all inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. I think that honestly, you use that as like a feel good moment. You use it as sort of like a band aid to a class to sort of give them a little bit of a higher ranking in order to put it there. But to me, I think the slam dunk, Hall of Fame member for this year would have to be Batista, unless Batista already knows that he's going to be making another movie. Batista has already said that with his match at WrestleMania's 35 with Triple H, that was his retirement match. He doesn't have that urge to come back and wrestle anymore. He might come back and he might make an appearance. He might even be in the ring, but there's no chance of him ever actually wrestling in a match. He got the retirement match that he was looking for so long in WWE. That was a match that, it felt like every year Batista was asking, can I get this match? Can I get this match? And it was almost like WWE always kind of like pushed him away, and sort of the point that they really sort of needed him. And now I think that you come full circle. You invite him back to go to the Hall of Fame, much like when Goldberg lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And then you turn around the next year, Goldberg was the leader of the Hall of Fame class to go in, even though half of the roster left when they were there. So I think there is a good chance that the nWo could go into the Hall of Fame. They might even go in this year since they're in Tampa, but I don't think that WWE has it drawn out that they're going to be the main event class. That's sort of like the only thing that is out there as an option. As you always know, at any time, WWE could be calling The Undertaker to headline a WrestleMania class. That's going to be, a class that's going to be coming up sooner than later. You've always got Triple H as well as The Rock, Vince McMahon. Those are sort of just names that are laying in the weeds that they could pull out to be leaders of Hall of Fame classes. I know that honestly, as long as Triple H as well as Vince sort of in charge of WWE, that they don't really want to pull those ones out. But you even got The Rock that at any time could probably come back and headline a class as long as it goes along with the schedule that he's got. So those are names that are out there, but the nWo is deserving of being there. One of the lead factions. You can definitely tell that the nWo, led by Hogan, Hall, and Nash, that was sort of created by Eric Bischoff, as well as having Kevin Sullivan pulling the strings, booking the WCW at the time. That's sort of what pushed wrestling into that wrestling boom of the Monday Night War. With WCW sort of overcoming and becoming the number one option for wrestling in the United States. That's sort of like a big deal. They deserve it. But I don't think that you need to put the nWo in when Hogan, Hall, and Nash are already all in as singles guys. When you put in DX, you've got X-Pac, who is deserving. You've got Road Dogg and you've got Billy Gunn, who are deserving. But those are guys that were sort of just going to be fillers on other cards. But like when you had the Four Horsemen, I honestly was kind of confused why they did that, because maybe you couldn't put Arn Anderson in the Hall of Fame because you wanted to have Ric Flair there to be the guy to induct him, because you think of those guys being together. But the other members of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, a fully deserving guy to go into the WWE Hall of Fame someday. And Ole Anderson would go right there along with it. Maybe you induct him as a member of a tag team with Arn Anderson. It would be the way you did it. But all those guys truly deserving. WWE needs to put the nWo in, but I think Batista needs to be the leader of the Hall of Fame class for WrestleMania 36.